Hi, good morning. Okay, so this is for grade 10 extended. So this is the do now for today. It's taken from a past paper. You probably think this is quite familiar, but you haven't seen this question before. Well, especially if you've only done what I've gave you. So have a little pause and then we'll give it a go. Right, so here, this is for one easy mark, 4 to the power of something is 256. So all you have to do really is just go to your calculator and do some trial and error. So A equals 4 to the power of 4. Right, question B for 2 marks. It wants us to write it in terms where the base is 2 and 3. So first thing you do is you look at all the fractions, and then what I need to do is anything that's not written with the base 2 or 3, I need to change it. So I can change the first fraction. 8 can change to 2 to the power of 3. The second fraction, 32, is 2 to the power of 5. And 9 is 3 to the power of 2. Now that I've changed them all, next thing I'm going to do is I need to get rid of them fractions. So the first one, I can change to 3 times by 2 to the negative 3. Because we know negative powers give you that fraction. Multiply 2 to the power of 5. And then times by 3 to the negative 2. So the last step is, so this 3 out of the 1, you add the powers together when the base is the same. So if we start with the 2's, negative 3 add 5 is going to give you 2. So B is 2. And then 1 add negative 1, negative 2 is going to give you negative 1. So B is 2 and C is negative 1. Right, and then over here, it's asking you to simplify, fill in the blanks to make this the answer. So first thing I'm going to do here is just simplify what I have, which is root 45. So that's root 9 times root 5. I know it's going to be 5 because this is obviously the answer. Okay, so 3, root 9 is 3, and I can write that as 5. Okay, so I need to subtract something, and I'm only left with 1. That means I just need to subtract 2 root 5s and I'll be left with 1 root 5. Okay, so D is 2 and E is 5. Right, why am I showing you this question? Some of you might be like, yeah, that's okay, nice easy couple of questions, but this was actually from the standard paper. Okay, so these questions are from the standard paper, and I just want to show you that the standard paper isn't difficult, but there's always similar questions on the standard versus extended. So the extended questions were actually these ones, okay? So it was question 2 on the same year, and it introduces some logs, and then it has some surds on the other side, okay? So this is to either make you realise, okay, standard is still difficult, which is fine, or it's also meant to make you feel like if you are still doing extended, okay, actually what I'm doing here is you're doing a really good job. So if we look at the logs, we know that when we subtract in logs that we should be dividing here. Okay, so it's asking what is this number going to be to make it be the same over here. So what do we divide 49 by? And it's going to still be the same answer. This is in the formula booklet. When you subtract logs, you're going to be dividing. So 49 is going to equal A squared. So that means A is going to be 7. Okay, so A is 7, which makes sense. 49 divided by 7 is 7. Right, and then over here, a little bit like the question in standard, but just a bit more challenging. Right, here the base is 5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change everything so it's base 5. So we should know when we have a root, it's actually the indices a fraction. So in this case, anything to the power of a half is just square root. And then on the bottom, it is 5 squared. So if we change this then, 5 to the power of a half times by 5 to the negative 2. So now the base is the same. We just look at the powers. So a half add negative 2. Okay, you do have a calculator. So if we add negative 2, you might want to change that to 4 over 2. Might make it a bit easier, and then you just subtract the top. So we're going to be left with negative 3 over 2. So B is negative 3 and C is 2. okay? Right, so that was the extended question, so a bit more challenging. Right, what we're going to go and do now on Assess Prep is there's two different groups in this class at the moment. Okay, so we've got the group that are obviously going to do the extended paper, and then we've got some students that are looking at the standard paper now, depending if that goes ahead. But what I'm still going to do is I'm still going to challenge us. So on Assess Prep, there's 2 tasks. You can only access one of them. If you're just doing the extended paper, I've put question 5, 6 and 8 from November 2025, and I'd like you to go and do them. And if you are one of the students that are doing standard, or it's still in the transition, you are going to go and do the second task, which is a mix of extended and standard questions, okay? And I've done that on purpose because question 6 is actually the same on both papers, and question 8 on extended I think is very doable for everyone.